The Naivasha port really is going to take a lot of cargo out of Mombasa, but at the same time, yes, it's good generally for the economy, but for the regional economy in Mombasa, we might have adverse effects depending on how businesses reorganize themselves to be able to manage the disruption that is going eventually to happen because of the port, the Naivasha inland port. Currently, we are looking at about, currently the SGR train is, for cargo, for example, is taking about we're talking about 3 trains per day, and that translates to about 300 containers. Those are 300 trucks, more or less. Say that has been moved from the road onto the rail. Predominantly, the truck business is owned by the the truck businesses are owned by the local people of Mombasa or this region of the country. So you're basically looking at about, on average, the best we see the SGR doing is about 300,000 containers this year, and looking at the standards and average cost of carrying a container, or the money that a truck makes to ferry a container from Nairobi from Mombasa to Nairobi, that will translate to about 21 billion in terms of lost businesses for the truck owners. Same number, 300,000, is what we project will happen for the container freight station, CFSs. And looking at again the average charge of a container that has been stored in a CFS, we're again talking about 12 billion. So cumulatively, we are looking at for only logistics sector, we are looking at about disruption, including the buses and the other supporting sectors like clearing and forwarding. We're looking at about in the region of 40 billion Kenya shillings being the amount that will be taken out of Mombasa because of the move to the SGR.
Already the effects of the development of the SGR are already being felt in Mombasa. Last week, Batwana had a meeting with the representatives of the owners of the container freight stations. They were complaining that even the cargo that is scheduled to be delivered to their stations was being taken to Nairobi to the inland container depot. This affected their business. They have invested a lot in terms of building the stations and investing in equipment. And now, if the cargo is being taken to Nairobi to be cleared from there, it will affect their business already. And if their business is affected, then the business of the local people is also affected, because the clearing agents that are working within Mombasa, they'll have to relocate to other places. The transporters will also have to relocate, because they will not be finding any cargo to transport from Mombasa to Nairobi or to Uganda. If we take, for example, the estimated 300,000 containers that will be moved by SGR, that will come to about 41 billion Kenya shillings in a year. Because, for instance, if you take what the freight stations are charging, about 70,000 per container, that will be 21 billion. Then transporters, clearing agents, they charge a minimum of about 10,000 shillings per clearance of a container. So for the 300,000, that will come to about 3 billion.